I think the various places I've gone to school has had a lot to do with the type of composer that I've become and the type of sort of musical citizen that I am. When I was an undergrad, I was in a music school that was very geared toward music education. There wasn't a whole lot of new music happening, and so if I wanted to have a new music ensemble perform my work, I had to make one. And so that's the first experience I had really being an organizer or working with an ensemble was the Susquehanna University New Music Ensemble, which I started, I guess, in my junior year and ran for a couple years after I left. And it was the first time I realized that if you have an ensemble, you have a lot more control over your work and the specific people who are playing it and when it gets played. And I think that's something that really I've carried with me in starting NewSpeak and working with the performers I work with. Compositionally, you know, when I was at Susquehanna, I was just brand new and just trying to figure out how to put notes together. So I just wrote a lot of music. And, you know, from there, Susquehanna was really just about writing a lot. When I went to Tanglewood, it was about absorbing a lot and listening to a lot of stuff. And by the end of that, I came to a conclusion that I needed to, I couldn't really worry if other composers liked what I was doing, that I just had to really believe in it and not really worry too much about anything else. The piece of mine that is on NewSpeak's record is called Sweet Like Crude. It's the title track, I guess you could say. And it's a significant piece for me in a couple ways in terms of my compositional output over the years. It's really among the first times that as a composer I just stopped judging style in a way. Two pieces of mine that I think were really important for this, Soldier Songs and Sweet Like Crude, where you know, I grew up listening to all kinds of different music, ranging from, you know, hip-hop to metal to Broadway to whatever, you know, this all was all part of what I was listening to. And I was listening really non-judgmentally at the time. It was just, this is what was around me, and I enjoyed what I enjoyed. You know, I didn't maybe like everything, but there was something in every style that I could relate to. And later on, I started listening to like old country, and all these things just I became a very open listener. And then when I became a composer, when I was young, like a young composer, I sort of shut all that out. And I said, well, no, I'm a classical composer now, and that means certain things, and I'm going to write stylistically appropriate, you know, and so the pieces that I was writing early on are very modern music kind of things, and I think they're good pieces, and I'm happy with them, and I still like to hear them when they get played. But that was somehow, I don't want to say it was insincere, it was just incomplete. It was an incomplete representation of me as an artist and as a musical person. And so with both Soldier Songs and Sweet Like Crude, I just said, well, those days are over, and I'm just going to write what I feel, you know. And if that happens to be some sort of proggy power ballad, okay. If that happens to be, you know, the Soldier Songs has all these different stylistic things going through it and that are being used to sort of convey the dramatic arc of the piece. And I think that decision and that decision to stay open has really shaped what my music is now. It tends to be very eclectic. I think that really serves writing opera. You know, like this opera of mine, Vinkensport. The styles of each piece are it's sort of all over the place, but it's all still me, and I think you can hear. My hope is that it's identifiable as a David T. Little piece, because of the way the specifics are written. You know, the harmony is my harmony, and the way the melodic material is written is my melodic material.
Between the rain
For a long time, I said that if I didn't start composing when I did, I would totally have ended up in jail. Early on, especially, I worked out a lot of anger through composing, and a lot of the pieces I wrote when I was an undergrad were just like really angry pieces. And I think, you know, as a kid, you know, being really angry, that channeled into being angry about politics. For me, whereas in the past, political music, as I've defined it, has been about giving answers. Now it's sort of about asking questions, I think. And so in my pieces, I try to either ask questions, which I'm in a way ultimately asking of myself as I'm working and sort of working them into the pieces, or it's about documenting. I think a piece like Katrina Ballads is a really great example of that, where, you know, in my dissertation, I call this the politics of bearing witness. But there's this sense of saying, no, you know what, this thing happened and we're not going to let you forget about it. And I think now, historically, it's easy to erase that things happened, frighteningly so. And I think that the apolitical role that an artist can inhabit is to counter that.